Welcome back to Behind the Badge. We're just discussing the bus and different issues with the school buses and reminiscing a little bit about our old days. Did you ride a school bus?
Yep, I did.
As a younger person too and stuff?
No, more as in high school.
Yeah. And was it good memories?
Yeah. Yeah. Or I probably wouldn't be in this field.
Yeah, or staying with it, and going with it. You know, I can remember specific things. My mom owned a florist at the time and stuff, so I think my mom knew the kind of guy I was or something, kid I was, issues and stuff. So every time at the end of the school year, I had to bring in this thing from the florist to give to the bus driver, you know, because I had to like pay, sorry, you know, for me being here.
Can I ride next year?
Yeah. So, you know, one time I remember I did get kicked off a bus and ended up walking home. That was a long walk, and I didn't want to tell my dad because I'd get in big trouble. So, I mean, I walked from Circle Center to Bristol Ridge Subdivision, which is a pretty good distance. And I didn't get home for an hour, hour and a half, you know. And my dad, he knew what happened because he called over. So I got it twice as bad than when I got home. You know, and are those the good old days?
Yeah, because we're not allowed to kick anybody off a bus.
Yeah, yeah. Now this
if it gets bad enough, we will call the police.
This was told, and I think the letter went out, but I got the letter, you know, so they didn't see it. So, I mean, all this stuff went through or whatever, and I didn't want to get in trouble, so I just walked home, and he thought that was pretty good discipline anyway, but I still got in trouble when I got home.
I bet.
Do the parents, are they disciplining as well as? I mean, I just generalized.
Not as well, I don't think. I mean,
so they're not as
I have
afraid.
A lot of parents calls, you know, screaming at me that their son didn't do this, you know, because he was written up or something. And
right. Right. So they're more defending the child before they find out what's going on with the situation.
Yeah.
You know, I found out being working in the schools for the 14 years where I was in the schools working with parents and stuff, it was almost a really good thing to get to know the parents before there is an issue that happened. That you have a relationship with the parent then, and if there's an issue and the child knows you have that relationship, that's power.
Right.
Because you know the parents and you know what's going on. You know, I know your dad, Bob, or whatever, you know, and there's an issue. And then all of a sudden there's no problems with the kids. Have you noticed that?
No, I have over 5,000 students.
But when you were a bus driver in a specific bus and you knew the parents, was that child a problem?
Yeah. Oh,
if you knew the parents? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that does work to a degree.
It does.
Yeah. We were talking before the last break about some different safety things that you guys have to do. This isn't just a whim that if you want to be a bus driver, you just, yeah, come on in and drive, you know. There are a lot of things you have to do. The CDL license is one. Right. And that's a big task right there, isn't it?
It's hard.
There's a lot of testing, a lot of classes, a lot of things you have to go through with that.
That's more managing your vehicle, where 80% of what you learn after that is probably all safety issues.
So after you get your CDL, and after you get all that information, then you come and get your job. Right. And now you have to do safety classes with your employee. Right. Employer. We have
bloodborne pathogens.
In case there's a nosebleed or something, and how to handle that.
Right, in case somebody throws up, cleaning it up, you know, protecting yourself and everybody else on the bus. Right. Bus evacuations in case of, you know, a really bad accident or whatever, how to handle that.
Tornado, lightning, fog.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Well, not fog.
Well, fogs,
we're not going to evacuate for fog.
If there's an issue with the fog, the reason I brought that up as an emergency type thing, you guys have strobes on the bus.
The strobe lights.
Now, on top of the roof, there's like 3 of them up there, or one, or
just one.
Okay, there's one. It looks like 3 because they're really bright.
I know.
What are those used for specifically?
Those are mainly in the fog, so people see you. So
that's only for a fog issue, then that's on? And
it's supposed to be. I've got drivers that like to keep them on all the time.
Just sort of, so they use...
I just realized or found out it's against the law unless you have a passenger on. Right. To have that on.
Right. So there's so many laws that you have to know. You have to be a lawyer.
Pretty close. I keep learning.
And the laws change all the time, don't they?
Yep.
When they go through. So the laws enacted also are for safety, like you said, bloodborne pathogens, evacuation of the bus. They're regular classes they go through that you guys put on?
Right.
So they have to show how to open up the back of the bus and get out of here, and if there's a tornado or something, where to go, the lowest part, or whatever situation being.
Right. Or in an accident.
Okay. And an accident would be another obvious one going from there. You guys keep a first aid kit on the bus, and in case of emergency type thing, going from there and happening. Anything else we can say for the words of wisdom for our parents? What about the parents getting to know the bus driver?
That would help.
You know, and maybe at the bus stop, stopping and going to talk to them. How you doing? I'm so-and-so.
Right.
Just wanted to know you. If you have any issues with my child, please let me know.
Right.
We can work on this together.
Let that student know that mom and dad care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that the relationship is there prior to an incident, and that makes it a lot easier when
it does.
If there's discipline going on.
Right. Now, I do have, you know, some parents that'll meet the bus and start yelling at the driver.
Yeah.
He's instructed to shut the door and keep going.
Right.
You know? And then they call me. And,
right. And
they're
parents,
not real happy, but
I guess parents can look at the big picture
that.
with that.
Right.
Where you can't be disciplining a bus driver in front of kids.
Right.
That is, you can't do it.
Right.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
You're taking every ounce of authority away from that bus driver by doing that.
Exactly.
And that's going to make their job 10 times harder. If there's an issue, come and see you, bring the bus driver in and discuss it and get it solved that way.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, because I think that's a hard thing to deal with on both sides. And when you take away any kind of authority that that bus driver has, you're hurting them.
Oh, sure. And the kids, I mean, they'll jump on it.
Yeah. And then you have a hard time keeping control of the bus that's going across.
You do.
Okay, some basic rules. No eating.
No eating, no drinking.
No standing.
No standing, no throwing.
Okay. Is there a bus seat schedule?
Oh, yeah. Yorkville has assigned seating.
Okay, so...
And the driver at the beginning of the year, you know, who do you want to sit with? And, you know, they'll work it out. But when you start misbehaving, then he's going to move you.
What about, can the kids bring on anything in the, I mean, big stuff, can't they bring on if they got a project or something, or a science project? Are there issues with that or not?
No, I haven't had too many problems with it. And instruments, I used to have a lot of problems. Our buses were just so crowded. So we did invest in a few of the bigger buses, so you know, there's extra seats in the back for instruments if need be.
And if there's issues on a bus going on, buses have cameras?
Most of them, we can put them anywhere a principal asks me to.
So there's a black box in there, the cameras are there. The cameras are for discipline purposes to see what's going on, monitoring the driver, make sure everything's okay.
Exactly.
Sort of a catch-all for everything. Does the parent have a right to see that?
No, they don't.
That's your information?
I have a problem with parents, you know, they get mad at me and I said, you know, the principal can view it, I view it, you know, the administration,
right.
You know, a police officer.
Right. Have you said before earlier when there's an issue going on, if there's something crazy going on, like a fight on the bus or something, can you get in contact with anybody? Do you have cell phones or?
They have two-way radios and they can call us and, you know, they say call 911, I have a fight, or, you know, or somebody just completely out of control.
Right.
And then we call you.
Right. And that's rare. We talked about it. It's rare.
It is. It's been really rare.
Doesn't happen a lot, but once in a while it happens, and we'll get there.
Right.
Discuss it, do a report, go from there, and then you do your discipline program.
Right.
And if there's complaints that go on with the police, if there's an arrest or something or whatever, then we would contact the parent and go from there.
Right.
Because we take this serious.
Yep.
For the safety of our kids and the safety of the bus driver and everybody involved.
It is.
The motoring public, I guess, to say the least. Anything else with that you'd like to bring up with? We're going to bring up war stories, but I know you don't want to. You can't do that.
I can't do that.
Yeah, which would be fun to see. But you know what, Sandy, I really appreciate you coming in and discussing this with us, because it is something important for everybody to understand. The public, the police, the parents, everybody in general to understand.
It's a hard job.
It's a hard job, a fulfilling job, I'll bet.
Right.
A rewarding job.
They do love it.
It's
I mean,
a lot of fun.
either you're, you know, cut out for it or you're not, and you'll know in the first year.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate you bringing it on, and thanks for listening. We appreciate you listening to our show, and I hope you learned something from it. We will see you next time on Behind the Badge.